I have to do this all on my phone, and it's driving me crazy because it keeps stopping. Okay. The wedding processional. Okay, so the groom is the one who veils the bride's eyes. Okay? So the bride is veiled to who she's marrying. The groom knows, but the bride doesn't. Okay? So she is going to there's two. All right? The one that is going to oh my gosh, man. It's the whole Jacob, Leah, and Rachel story. Okay? Now, it's the two truths. It's the two women. It's the fertile womb. It's the barren womb. Okay? It's the it's about the maidservants. Okay? It's about you have, okay, so you have a bride, right, that is going, and they think they know who they're marrying, but they don't. Okay, they don't know, because the first wedding is the wedding in Cana, which is Benjamin. Okay, the groom's name was Benjamin, who was a cousin of Jesus, okay, which Mary and Jesus went, all right? He was Benjamin. Now, if you remember a couple years ago, I said we're the tribe of Benjamin. I don't know how I knew that. I just knew that. I mean, the Holy Spirit. We are the tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin was the last son, okay? And Benjamin's whole story, the tribe was almost fully wiped out because of it was this bride thing, stealing of these women, okay? These brides. You got to do your own research on it. It's just too long, but it's so good. But he is the wolf. His tribe is known as the wolf. But he is the strength in God's shoulders, okay? He's the one that has the strength to pull back that arrow, okay? That arrow. Benjamin, it was Benjamin's wedding, okay? So what I'm saying is, we are Benjamin, okay? So, if you look and see who is from the tribe of Benjamin, you'll see the pattern, okay? Go look and see, where Saul's from, where David's from, okay? Esther is from, okay? All the tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin is not marrying who he thinks he's marrying, okay? He's marrying a daughter, okay? Now, the wedding at Cana, okay, now that we know who the groom was, or the groom is, Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin, okay? Remember me telling you about the story of Barabbas? It just gets so good. That Barabbas, was the thief, okay, the thief in the night, but while the wedding was going on, Barabbas went into the father's house and stole Well, I don't really know if that wedding was at the groom's father's house or the bride's house. So, a father's house, okay? And stole his gold, okay? Stole his gold. And he took that gold and he took it to the harlot's house, the prostitution house, okay? And he paid for the virgin, okay? The one with no name that he wanted. And he wanted her, but she wouldn't tell him his name, and he called her the one with no name. Ended up, in one story, her name is Esther, and in another story, her name is Rachel. How about that one? So good, I can't even take it. So, while this wedding's going on, the gold's stole. Now, what is gold? Gold represents the head. So, it represents heavenly, the heavenly truth. Heavenly, it's your mind, it's your thoughts, okay? So, there's either going to be, again, one groom and two brides are, two grooms and one bride. Okay? Is it a repeat then of David having Uriah killed, okay, to marry Bathsheba? It all swings together, okay? But okay. Then this, okay, you connect to the Judah story, okay? Judah, after his daughter-in-law, okay, his first two sons who married her, they died, right? And he wanted her to marry the third son, but it didn't go through, and she played a harlot, right? And went into town, and because she wanted a baby, she wanted a child. She didn't want to be married on. She wanted to be passed on, and so she laid with him, right? And she had his staff and his seal, and it came out that it was her that he slept with, okay? And she was pregnant, right? She was pregnant with twin girls. Okay? Now, the two daughters. The two daughters represent Israel and America. Okay? That's who they represent. The daughters of Judah represent Israel and America. Okay, now, but the father is going to take them back. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take it. It's Israel and Judah coming back together with it. You know what I mean? It's the whole coming back together. I'll have to write what I have on this because it's not coming out right, but it's what it is. What was the two girls' names? Perez and I can't think of the other one. But all this fits in line. These are why these stories are in there. Okay? That's why these stories are in there. This is why they ran out of wine, okay, at the wedding. And the water, he turned into wine. Now, I've saved that one. We'll have to do another video on that. One. You have to go through each of these stories and truly understand what they're about, and you have to listen. I don't care if you watch them, I don't care if you read them, but they're telling the mysteries, okay? They're hidden in plain sight. They're hidden in plain sight. But this processional is what it is. Now, there is a union, okay? The wedding that the true bride, okay, of Christ, it's a union. It's a union of your earthly heart, okay, your purified earthly heart, with your pure, purified thoughts, mind, which is heavenly, okay, because it is spirit. It's all of that being in sync with each other. Because see, our heart is what gets us in trouble. Our heart, meaning our heart is the tender soot. It's the tender shoot. You know what I'm saying? The tender shoot that comes up. Its reaction to what it thinks, it sees in the world and what the world is doing to them. Its reaction to that is what guides the thoughts. The thoughts is what guides the actions, the words. The words, the actions, is what opens the doors. It's what causes our trials, okay? It's what causes the whole domino effect in this world. And it is why your lives go in the direction that they go in, okay? Because you don't know how to know what this world really is, okay? And how to not let it affect you, okay? And affect who you are, what you're here to do. Because people get so caught up in the drama and the whole thing that then they don't have time to look for this truth. They don't have time. The world, it keeps you away from knowing the truth. The truth, what? Sets you free. The lack of knowledge is what causes people to fall, to perish, is your lack of knowledge. But because of all of the chaos and really fictitious crap going on in the world that people are just up to here in, they can't find it. Okay? So they go to church. So you go to church and you sit there and you listen to something that has been taught down the line, and earthly teaching, not heavenly, earthly, remember? And so you're good with that. Good with that. You may not understand everything, but he sounds like he knows what he's doing. And that's what he says that is, so hey, I'm good with that. That's what it is. And anybody who says any different, these are the people that turn around and the crap that comes out of their mouth, the judgment, the meanness, the evil, the hatefulness. But see, again, that's why God allows it, because he needs that to come out. Okay? Because if that's coming out of you, well, you need to start again somewhere, because that's not really good. You're playing God. You're judging. Okay? And we do not. It's. You're listening to man. Okay? And so you cannot. And then when you continually run back to these places, okay, of learning, and they're lower learning, they're not higher learning, and as long as it's the baggage that you carry, it's the luggage that you tug. As long as you do, you're always going to look back. And once you look back, you continually look back at your life. It's the story of, can I go back and say bye to my mom and dad? Okay? That's what he means by that. Okay, well, you can't go back to that. You can't come with me and keep looking back at that. Okay? It's done, it's over, move on. Yesterday is yesterday, let it go. Okay? But don't carry the luggage with you from that. Because you can't go into tomorrow with the luggage from yesterday. Okay? You're not going to hear me. You're not going to know it. You're going to keep going back to that. You're not going to hear this good word that I have, this good news. This, it's moving forward. It's movement. It's continual movement. You're not going to hear it. Okay? And then you're going to be stiff-necked. But you're not going to hear the truth, because you're not going to want to hear the truth. Because again, it's so many things I've talked about for years on these videos that, well, I have been going to church and studying for 40 years. Okay, so if anybody was going to know anything, it would have been me. I'm not saying me myself. I'm just portraying it, because that's how, you know how people are. That's how they are. No, they're not going to get it. I'd get it first. So if I don't have it, it can't be true. Okay, well, I'm telling you what, it's a whole new ballgame. And anybody can have it and find it, but you have to give up the world. You truly, truly have to give up the world. You can't worry about what you wear. You can't worry about what you have and what you don't have. I was very worldly. I mean, I was good. I thought I was good. I was good. I brought homeless people home. I gave anybody everything, but I loved to shop. I had my nails done. I mean, it was like I had new, I'm going to die if I don't have that. Well, I'm just going to die right now if I don't have that. I've got to go buy that. Even when I bought for other people, I just overdid it. That worldly place, those worldly wants, okay? You have to close your windows. The soul cannot see the windows, out, because that's light to her. That's the light. And so she doesn't know any better. She only knows what she's shown. When you've been in a dark place and you get that light and you see all that stuff, it's like, oh, mermaids. That's why they collect gold, sparkly, shiny stuff. That's another thing too, but it all goes into place. You can go back and hear that same word, same way, but you're on the first level. You're still on Adam, okay? You're still at Adam, level 1. All right. Now, the clock goes forward and backwards. You got one going clockwise, one counterclockwise. So, boom. Because when you die, you're really born. And when you're born, you start dying. So the clock goes both ways. The realms, Adam and the sea, you have Adam. Let's just say this first one is Adam. The second one up above us in the sky would be Cain and Abel, because that's where the angels are, right? And that's where you've got two people fighting over, grazing rights. And then the third would have been Seth. Okay? And see, Seth, remember again, when I was going through this and noticed it, and it was out of the blue that I noticed this. I mean, we go through this, so-and-so begot so-and-so, and so-and-so begot so-and-so. We skip over it, and that holds so much right there. But Eve was like, hey, excuse me, God, the Lord gave us he gave us a man-child. We got a man-child. He gave us a man-child right here. He was different. He was different than Cain and Abel. So what is a man-child? What is a man-child? Seth was different. Okay, then you go in and you read what they say, when it got down to be Noah, and this one will, give us rest. This one will give us rest. So who is Noah? So you can start off with this realm. It's your stairs to the altar, you could say, okay, to the altar. But 1 through 10, or 1 can start up there, and 10 can be here where Noah took the ark, okay? So it doesn't matter which way you're going to do it, because it goes both ways. It goes both ways. This is why they lived to be so long, and then after they died, they had other sons and daughters, because it's precise. And in the Bible, it says, it gives the age that they had that one particular child, okay, and then the age that they were when they died. But then after that, it says, then they had other sons and daughters. Well, the minute I read that, I was like, well, wait a minute, that's not a mistake, okay? After they died, their earthly death, or their whatever death it was, they were born, then they had other sons and daughters, okay? So, I just knew it was different, okay? It was different. It's so much. It's so much. Every wait a minute, let me back up a minute. This is why Moses was born on Adar 7 and died on Adar 7. This is why Joseph died on his birthday too. Because see, when you die, you're born. When you're born, you die. It doesn't matter. It's always the same. So that's why they all died and were born on the same day. We have to go back through those waters, okay? Now, you have to just go in faith. Because you talk about panic, you talk about people dying of heart failure, and gnashing, absolutely. Because they're not going to know what to do. Because it's not going to be what they think, okay? So, one carries you, okay, to the other, through the waters. You need someone to navigate you through the waters, okay? And that's what Jesus does. You have to have a navigator through there, okay? You get to that other side. Then there's another. It's the other lands. It's all the lands that when they talk about through the Bible that they're hidden. You have your kingdom of God, okay, which is this whole earth, and up. So then you have the heavenly kingdoms, okay? You have the heavenly kingdoms. And then you have the kingdom of heaven, okay? That's above, that's up there. That's where you want to go. And this is why Jesus would told Nicodemus, you're not far from the kingdom of heaven. Because he knew that the Father, the Holy Spirit, was teaching him. He wasn't what Nicodemus was saying. He knew that there wasn't a man there, a teacher, that could have taught him that. That was given by the Holy Spirit, by the Father, which is in spirit. It's the same that if he told any of that, the disciples, anybody, okay? So, in the story of the disciples, is they were learning too, okay? They were learning too, because they were earthly, but they had heavenly spirits in them, okay? It's just